Hey everybody, and welcome to this video about the Archaeology skill. With Archaeology less than a month away, there's great excitement in the Runescape 3 community, and a lot of people are trying to gather as much information as possible together about the skill before release. Jagex have been quite secretive about some of the information around the skill, and the information we do have has been scattered around so many areas. It's in their live streams, RuneFest last year, it's on their Twitter, Reddit, it's everywhere. So I've compiled all the information that I know concerning the Archaeology skill, and I've chucked it into this video so that hopefully, if there's a piece of information you want to know, it'll be somewhere in here. First things first, we do have a release date for Archaeology skill of the 30th of March, so the end of this month. The skill, from day of release, will go all the way up to 120. Archaeology is going to be a normal skill, so unlike Invention, it won't require any other skill requirements, and it follows the standard XP curve, where level 99 will need about 13 mil XP, and 120 will need about 104 million XP. For the first time, non-members will be able to train this member skill up to level 20, and if this works successfully, then we may see other member skills having their non-member skill cap up from level 5 to level 20, which I do really hope happens. Max players will be removed from the max guild with no grace period, however comp and trim requirements, other than the one of being maxed in the first place, will have a grace period of 6 months or so. Archaeology is being considered a gathering skill, despite the fact that a lot of the XP from the skill will be obtained in the manufacturing process of the skill. This means that Grace of the Elves will work while training the skill. A tweet from Modiago confirms that Science of the Porters will move most items obtained during the digging training to a material bank, which will resemble the ore bank that we already have in mining and smithing. We aren't yet certain whether skill chompers will have any effect on training the skill, but if I worm any of that information out of mods, I'll pin that information as the top comment on this video. There will be a skilling outfit and an elite skilling outfit for Archaeology from day of release, and we know that they'll be obtained by playing the skill. We don't yet know the effects of the elite skilling outfit beyond the standard XP increase. A lot of items obtained in this skill will be tradable, which of course will give an advantage to rich players who are racing for the high scores, but what can you do? This will naturally make training on an Iron Man much more difficult than on a main, but that's the price you pay. It has been revealed that while they were doing the playthrough of the skill as a player would, they found that it was very difficult for an Iron Man to do, so they have added items which will allow you to get an increased or maybe even a guaranteed chance of getting the materials you want. That will help Iron Men out. This skill will have a multitude of ways to train, digging for materials and broken artifacts, mending artifacts, turning in the artifacts, ancient summoning, and ancient invention. As a post-release update, which will bring in a new dig site, we will also get ancient potion making some way down the line. As I mentioned dig sites, that's where we're going to spend a lot of our time training the skill, certainly more so on Iron Man. Let's take a look at those dig sites. The first dig site that we will arrive at level 1 Archaeology is the Varrock dig site, which will become the Archaeology Guild, and we're already familiar with where it is from the dig site quests and other things. Here, we'll be doing the Archaeology tutorial, much like when you first enter the Invention Guild. During this tutorial, we're going to be taught how to dig at a dig spot, clean mud, obtain broken artifacts, fix a broken artifact, and then turn it into XP, GP, or Chronos. I'll come back to what that is later. Once the tutorial is complete, you should have level 5 Archaeology, and with that, you'll be able to access the next dig site. At level 5, you'll be able to venture into Caradet. This will be located between the Duel Arena and the Abbey where the One Piercing Note quest takes place, east of Alcarid. Each of the dig sites post-tutorial will be related to one of the RuneScape gods. This first one was a Zerosian stronghold which fell to Zamorakian forces during the God Wars. Here you'll be able to find Zerosian weapons, artifacts, and scrolls of ancient knowledge. A little speculation here, but this area may play a role in the City at Centerston quest, which is being touted for a release in the summer. There's a little confusion over which dig site comes next, but the early promotions for the skill suggested that the next dig site will be Everlight. This is located east of Myadich. A teleport to the Araxite Hive will give a quick way to get there on release. This former Icene settlement is the resting place of a lot of Saradominus items. We know that there will be ground level, underwater, and above ground areas to this dig site, and there'll be plenty of stuff to find. The next area is the Infernal Source. This area is canonically located in the Wilderness Volcano, underneath the Sword of Edicts. However, in practical terms, you'll never need to enter the wilderness to train here. The entrance to this dig site will be at the bar by the sawmill near Varrock, and there are no PvP mechanics inside the dig site, so you need not fear being PK'd while training here. It's all safe. This dig site will be related to Zamorak, and it's here that we'll learn how Zamorak is connected to demons. This could possibly lead to the ancient summoning that we know is coming, but it's a bit of speculation that this is where it comes in. Following this, we have the Stormguard Citadel. This is the Sky City of Archaeology, and it's connected to Armadyl and the Avian Seas. We don't know much about this, aside from that it's a former fortress and laboratory, which is said to be connected to the Temple of Ikov. The final dig site that we're getting on release is the Warforge! This is a former Bandosian military installation, so this is where you probably want to be getting to get lots of weapons out of this skill. We know that this dig site will be located in the Feldup Hills, around where mobilising armies used to be located. There's one future dig site we know is coming, the Orphan dig site. Those of you who've completed the Desperate Times quest may know the name Orphan as the name of the island that Karapak flew to at the end of the quest. It's believed to be the first place that the Dragonkin inhabited on Gelinor, and it predates the arrival of Guthox. Not a huge amount is known about how this will function as a dig site, except we know with its arrival will come the ancient potion making. It has a current expected release date of late 2020, but it's likely that it'll come out in early 2021. Now that we've looked through all the dig sites that we know are coming, let's take a look at how and why we're going to train the skill. Much like mining or woodcutting, you'll need a piece of equipment to collect materials and artifacts for this skill. That equipment in Archaeology is called a mattock. Standard mattocks can be made through mining and smithing, however, there will be augmentable mattocks, much like pickaxes. The Dragon mattock will be available, but as yet, it's unknown how. There will be a tier 90 mattock, called the Mattock of Space and Time, which will be created in a similar way to the Pickaxe of Earth and Song, using an Incando mattock as well as a Crystal mattock. There will also be a Hero mattock, but given the rarity of the other hero items, I wouldn't hold your breath on getting one. In the manufacturing portion of the skill, we will be using the materials gathered from digging, which are also tradable, along with broken artifacts to create various projects. Here we can see some of the projects which can be created at the Everlight dig site. These can be turned in at one of the collectors for either GP, Archaeology XP, or Chronotes. The Chronotes shop will stock regular and elite skilling outfit pieces, as well as unlocking boosts similar to those in deep sea fishing. Another unlock from Archaeology will be Ancient Summoning. We know about 3 new pouches that will join the roster of summoning pouches: the Ripper Demon, which will deal increased damage the lower the enemy's health, and can replicate the Ripper Demon's jump attack when using scrolls; the Abyssal Demon, which will teleport onto an enemy and deal damage, and can teleblock enemies, possibly useful for PKing; and the final new pouch that we know about is the Calgarian Demon pouch. This will be the best new damaging familiar, and when the scroll is used, it will give you and surrounding players a boosted chance of landing a critical hit. We will also be seeing Ancient Invention. This will give us new gizmos with 9 slots, allowing for some new best in slot perks. Biting 4 has already been confirmed to be possible using 9 Noxious components, so perks like Aftershock 4, Impatient 4, and perhaps P5E2 or P4E3 aren't off the table. Other new introductions from Ancient Invention are XP capacitors, which will act as bonus XP for item levels of other augmented items. The Kinetic Dynamo, which is a pocket slot item despite looking like boots. These will act like the Divine-O-Matic, charging divine charges up. In this case, they'll be charged by running around or surging. Unlike the Divine-O-Matic, however, these will break after a time. There will also be an item which enhances the current Invention skilling items from tier 70 to tier 80, which means that they will give more XP when they are disassembled. At Runefest, it was announced that there will be some new weapons released with Archaeology. The only one we know the name of is the Spear of Annihilation, but I'm sure there will be plenty more. As previously noted, when the Orphan dig site comes out, we'll be getting Ancient Potion making to add to the new potions which we gained from the 120 Herblore update. The final, and probably most exciting rewards, are the relics. These will be part of a whole new reward space, meaning that new relics can be added further down the line from activities that aren't just Archaeology related. Looking through the list that was available at Runefest, there are some pretty deadly combinations of relics. Jagex have already said that not all the relics that were available there will be released, some have been removed for being too powerful or not useful enough, and new ones have been added. I won't analyse the current list in full, there will be a link to the wiki article about it down in the description, but I won't analyse it because it's not the final list. There are some pretty good combinations though. A combination of heightened senses and conservation of energy is pretty insane. Players will only be allowed to use 3 relics at a time. Players will also have a limited pool of power, similar to the power generated for machines at the Invention Guild. This will hopefully stop players using an insane game-breaking combo of relics. Even with the changes that Jagex are making to the list, we can be sure that these will have a big effect on how we play the game. Increases in XP, PVM boosts, and quality of life changes will all be available through relics. And that's pretty much everything I could find out about the skill and bring together for this video. I'm really excited to train up this skill and regain my max cape. Hopefully I get an untrimmed archaeology cape on my hardcore series, that would be so rare and so cool. In all honesty, there probably is some information that I've missed out, and we will be getting more information as the release date approaches. Let me know down in the comments what you're most excited for about this skill. Leave any questions you have, and I'll try to answer them. I'll be training the skill hard on release, so there will be a bit of a wait for any videos about it post-release. I want to play as much of it as I can before I give my opinions on the skill. Leave a like if you like this more informative style of video from me, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future content, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.